wonderful to meet you. Hello.
I mean, best dressed, want to cast you right now. Like, why
Oh
don't I
my.
show you? Sorry, it's giving Elle Woods. It's giving Clueless. Anyway,
I
I'm
am
obsessed.
I'm honored and shook. So I
I'm so
appreciate
happy.
it.
I'm so happy to meet you.
Yes, so happy to meet you as well. I am such a fan of this show and of all of the work that you've been doing, especially in creating these inclusive storylines on High School Musical, the musical, the series. I've been a fan of the show and the movie, so it's been a pleasure to watch the show kind of come into what it is now. What is your most exciting part of this season? What do you feel is like the most compelling?
I love that question. I love watching Sophia Wiley take center stage. But if I start listing cast members, I will say, I will actually. I haven't done this with any other outlet, so I'll just say it. I love watching Joshua Bassett have fun on camera. I love watching Dara Renee step into her power as a writer. She writes a song for us this season.
My
I love
goodness.
watching Julia Lester explore identity on screen. Frankie Rodriguez tell a story that we're not used to seeing queer storytellers always tell. I love seeing Meg Donnelly as a decom star play in our world and a more grown up character. I love seeing Matt Cornett step into being like a more senior character and start really looking to the future while trying to hold on desperately to the past, as so many young people do. I love seeing Corbin Blue come back to the territory that he started from and like market in a new way. And then, these other guests like Liamani Segura and Aria Brooks and Jojo Siwa and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. I think what I'm most excited about is the amount of fun that I hope the audience has watching this season.
Absolutely. And coming off of season 1 and 2, it's been already such a splash hit. But what was something that you learned or took away from that first 2 seasons that you really tried to address or really, talk about in this season 3?
I think there's a lot of really juicy feel bad shows out there. And I think we wanted to return to the OG roots of a really feel good experience. And that doesn't mean there aren't like hurt feelings and drama and a little bit of juicy, some backstabbing, love triangles. But ultimately, the show is called High School Musical, the musical, the series. We kind of know it's dumb. And so we take it really seriously and we take the stories seriously. We take the characters seriously. But I believe that people tuning into the show also want the joyful escape of musicals. And that's something we really leaned into this season.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite episode of this season that you're excited for fans to see? Perhaps that'll draw a lot of response or reaction.
I think episode 5 is going to get a big response because there's revelations. There's a giant song I'm really excited about that somebody sings who's new to our series. And I think the finale, just when you think it's over, there's more to see, and I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. I've loved watching the seeds that have been planted over the seasons. We had that crazy flashback moment last season. Is that
Yes.
built upon this season? And what can we expect for continuing to follow those storylines into season 4 as well?
I think we've got now so many characters whose journeys we care about that I think what we're mostly tracking now is the way your life changes when you're young, and one new person can change everything. And then there's always that handful of people who you will keep in touch with for life. And these kids are right at the center of figuring out all of that. And to your point about the flashback, I mean, Sophia Wiley, Joshua Bassett, Matt Cornett, these are actors who have a big fan base for a reason. And I think all of those fans are going to see a lot that they'll hopefully love this season.
Absolutely. And for you as a showrunner, what have you learned upon this journey of creating this show and really creating an inclusive and welcoming space for people to be watching television? You've talked about it kind of keeping it upbeat and happy and trying to make people feel good. What is most fulfilling about being able to continue creating this show for you?
I think watching young people truly step into their power, watching an Olivia Rodrigo, a Joshua Bassett, a Sophia Wiley really become the heroes of young people is really moving. And then I think behind the camera, we have an all-female director lineup this season. We've got so many queer storytellers who work on the series and really trying to walk the walk and not just talk the talk as a boss. oftentimes means actually trying to be the quietest person in the room and step back and say who else can step forward, and empowering others is the biggest joy of this job.
Absolutely. Such a privilege to talk to you. I think we
Such a
have to.
privilege. You're a
You're so
star.
incredible.
I just want you to know you're a star.
Thank you.
I know it when I meet it. You're a star.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.